Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today to talk about a very important topic in Captain Britain. Obviously, with his introduction into the candy store, I've seen a lot of folks comment on whether or not that he's been showing up and so forth. And, I finally had a chance once again here to get shards of him, so I wanted to capture it on screen for you guys so you can see he is in fact in the store. But the bigger message of this video, guys, is I do want to share with you that, although his shards are available and although you can farm him technically with the candy store, I don't think we should place a lot of emphasis on this. For myself personally, especially having recently unlocked Odin, I mean, there's very few characters in the game right now that I have not unlocked, and Captain Britain is one of them. In the past week that this character has been farmable, quote unquote, in this candy store, I've amassed about 50 shards. This does include core refreshing at least some 50s here and there. As you can see with this one, I did not do it, but yeah, the chances aren't great. So if you guys are using these candies right now, it's definitely good to keep an eye out for him if his shards pop up. But otherwise, if you need to build up your roster characters, if you need to build up some Illuminati characters, Crimson Uniques, Crimson Mini Uniques, and so forth, I highly would recommend that. Heck, I would even recommend, getting Blade's ultimate ability awaken materials before Captain Britain, just because of the fact that it's probably going to be more accessible and useful than Captain Britain. The only reason I would otherwise recommend getting his shards is really like if you're like myself, if you're a collector and you want to get a character unlocked, obviously, in your account. And with me being free to play, this is definitely going to be one of the best ways I can do that, right? But I'm not gunning for him because I do want to share the bigger message, which is, in the grand scheme of things, Captain Britain doesn't really matter for the next legendary event. Now, if you guys are, very heavily, active in Cosmic Crucible, a game mode that I don't prioritize, then that would be another reason. But I do want to point out, we don't have Shadow King yet, so let's just pretend, looking at Old Man Logan here as the most recent example, with his event specifically, remember that we're going to be gated ultimately based on the star levels, right? So however high of the star ranks you have in your required roster is going to be indicative of what star ranking you get. For myself personally, when Old Man Logan first came, I only had my Cabal and Out of Time characters at 4 stars. So it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, even if you do unlock Captain Britain and bring him up. If you're planning to achieve a character, especially in Shadow King at 5 stars and above, you're going to likely need your Captain Britain at higher star levels. So is that likely from this event where we can farm his shards? Probably not. We know that there's more shards coming in the way of, I think it was like a battle pass or a season pass in the data mines, but otherwise, I mean, that's not really going to be telling of the future. It's not going to be playing an important role, especially since we have 2 other teams that we can utilize that we know for sure is required. And the good news with those teams is that we already have built up higher star levels. So in case you guys missed the boat on this, the required characters and teams are both Illuminati and the Annihilators, right? These characters here are going to be telling of what star ranking you'll be able to achieve on Shadow King. These 10 characters on screen, obviously Captain Britain being at the very bottom there, these 10 characters are going to ultimately decide how high of a Shadow King you'll be able to unlock. And thankfully, there's been a lot of shards that have been come out, but I think the true bottleneck is going to be Annihilators, right? Because with the majority of Illuminati, especially now that we can actually purchase shards in the candy store as well for Hank Pym, as well as Black Panther Shuri, I'm likely going to get these characters very, very close to 7 stars. And that's kind of what I'm aiming for right now, right? If I can build up an Illuminati team that can be matched up with my Annihilators, I can at least hopefully get a 5-star of Shadow King, especially since I already have Gladiator here at 6 stars. Thanos Endgame at 5 stars, another 77 shards away from the 6 stars for him, and actually Ultimate's already being fully brought up, and as well as Gore is very close to 6 stars. So if I can get my Annihilator characters to 6 stars, a 6-star Shadow King is right around the corner. And whereas, if you're trying to put all your marbles and obviously all your eggs into investing and bringing up Captain Britain, I just don't think that's going to be the right play here, because it's hard enough already just getting his unlock, but let alone you have to push him all the way to at least 4 or 5 stars to match up with the rest of the Illuminati characters and as well as Annihilators. I just don't think it'll make sense. In the meantime, like I said, I'm a collector. I'm free to play. I'm just trying to take advantage of the resources that I have in the game right now, which in this case are the candies. It's also being tied back to a web milestone event, so I mean, it's just a win-win-win for me. If his shards show up, great, I'm going to purchase it with the use of the candies. But otherwise, he's not going to be an importance to me. I think I'm more focused on unlocking him, but that doesn't change the game plan here for my legendary planning, which is these 10 characters are likely going to be the main bottleneck here going through into the next legendary event. And don't forget, guys, even with Old Man Logan's event specifically, it wasn't actually Cabal amount of time that gate kept you from unlocking him. It was actually the Biocosmic section and as well as the Hero skill. You needed to have a massive Spire Society team, or at least some sacks involved, in addition to, actually, I would say you basically required Super Scroll to actually unlock Old Man Logan at 5 stars and above. But even then, if they are going to keep that event setup the same, if you recall, there was a way to actually unlock Old Man Logan at, I believe it was like 3 or 4 stars by raising the max difficulty and then just bringing up a team to beat the one node. That very well could also be in effect, which is why, guys, I don't think we should place too much importance on focusing and building up, Captain Britain specifically. But more importantly, if you're just focused on the Shadow King unlock, there's likely going to be that same kind of methodology where you can raise up the difficulties and then just beat the one node to unlock Shadow King. So at the end of the day, guys, make sure you understand where your bottlenecks are, what your capacity constraint is going to be, because at the end of the day, if you're just trying to unlock a character in Shadow King, I think it's going to be easy to unlock him at a low star. It's whether or not you want him at higher star levels, and then that goes back to obviously taking a look at the required teams, in this case being both Annihilators and as well as Illuminati. But yeah, just my 2 cents, guys. And remember, let's always wait to see what the legendary event breakdown is going to be like, because we don't know what the other traits are going to be, right? Like I said earlier, Biocosmic and Hero skill were the big pain points actually in that last legendary event that prevented us from pushing all the way higher. So in the meantime, I'm probably going to leave these characters as they are right now, because I feel like they've been invested in a decent amount right now. And then we'll see. If I'm able to get my Annihilator characters to 6 stars and above, I probably will need to push up my Black Bolt and Iron Man a little bit higher to kind of match up with the rest of my Illuminati team. But in the meantime, these 10 characters are going to be the biggest, I think, investment in terms of getting Legendary unlocked at higher than 5 stars. And then, like I said, with Captain Britain, I'm probably just going to go for his unlock, and that's going to be good enough for myself. But let me know what your guys' game plan is, what you're planning to do for the next Legendary. But in my honest opinion, we should just unlock Captain Britain, but skip the investment overall. Unless we have a more farmable way to get his stars, it just won't matter in the grand scheme of things, guys. Just my 2 cents. Thank you for your time as always. Let me know what you think in comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.